Hello, my name is Mark Eisman, Vice President, Jade International. In this segment, we're going to talk to you about CIF, CIP, CPT, and CFR. Those terms are all very related, but have some different distinctions between them. CIP and CPT are both multimodal terms used for air freight and ocean freight, where CIF and CFR are ocean freight terms only.
Under these terms, how does this term benefit the buyer?
Under these terms, the buyer has no control over the freight portion, whether it's air freight or ocean freight, of their goods. When they're purchasing the goods from their seller, the seller is already going to be including these transportation charges in their commercial invoice. The buyer, their benefits are they just don't have the control over that, but they have the control over their customs clearance formalities and ultimate delivery to their facility. They can still work very closely with the seller, but they just don't have the control over the actual transportation overseas of the goods. But there are some benefits there, as they do get control over their customs clearance formalities.
CIF, CIP, what are their responsibilities for the seller, and how do they vary between the different terms?
As we've discussed, CIF and CIP are very similar terms. CIF is used for ocean freight only, where CIP is a multimodal term used for air freight or ocean freight. The CIF and CIP term is the most recommended term for any USA exporter. It gives you the most control within country. You get to take care of getting the goods off your dock. You get the goods over to the destination that is required under the transit times that you want and that you need, and also that benefit your client the most. And also you're taking care of the AES filing, which is the most important aspect of the export transaction. For the USA importer, this is a term that's used from time to time, is not as recommended. However, it does give you the control to take care of your customs clearance formalities and the delivery to your facility. When you're buying CIF, make sure that your seller is providing on the commercial invoice the detailed ocean freight or air freight charges on your commercial invoice. As a USA importer, this is considered a non-dutiable charge and is able to be deducted from your dutiable value when the customs clearance is done by your designated customs broker.
Under these terms, Mark, what is the buyer responsible for? Where does his responsibility start and end?
The buyer takes responsibility once the goods get to the destination port. So basically, on the commercial invoice and on the bill of lading, the goods are going to go to the destination that is requested by the buyer and that the seller is going to ship the goods to. The buyer has a responsibility for any destination terminal handling charges, customs clearance formalities and duties, and then ultimate delivery to their facility.
Mark, I noticed in these terms that the CIP and the CIF use the term insurance. Can you speak to the other terms, these terms, and insurance coverage, please?
Excellent question, Scott. The CIF and CIP terms are the only terms in the Incoterms 2010 that actually speak to insurance. Any other term, whether you believe it or not to have insurance covered, does not specifically state whether insurance is covered. X-Works, FOB, FCA, CFR, CPT, DAP, DDP, none of them speak to insurance coverage. The only terms that speak to insurance coverage are the two mentioned, CIF and CIP. It is strongly recommended that you discuss with your buyer or seller, depending which, who is covering the insurance prior to departure and prior to purchase of the goods. Having that conversation up front will save you a lot of hassle on the back end if there happens to be any insurance issues. Thank you very much for your time. That will wrap up our session today on CIF, CIP, CPT, and CFR. We hope you got a lot out of this. If you have any additional questions, please reach out to us at the email or phone number below. Thank you very much and have an excellent day.